Good morning from the Great Smoky Mountains. My name is Ryan, and on today's adventure, I'm going to bring you guys to SkyLand Ranch in Sevierville, Tennessee. We're going to check out the progress that they've made as it's planning to open November 11th of this year, which they might be able to open a little sooner. Keep an eye on their website. But I'm going to bring you up top, show you what it's like right now, and what all this place will have to offer. So without further ado, we invite you to join us on today's adventure to SkyLand Ranch.
So the area we're in now, this will be the first place our guests will come up to the park. This will be our ticket window. This is where you can buy your tickets for entry to the ranch, for your trip on the Wild Stallion mountain coaster. And you can also do a combo between the two and actually save a little extra if you buy tickets for both. We have a photo system going in the park that will use some facial recognition things. So you can go throughout the park, we'll take pictures throughout the park, and then once you are ready to leave, you can actually see all your pictures from your whole time here. The area we're coming into now is going to be the queue lines for the chairlift, and the chairlift is called the Horizon Skyride. You can see the logo there, and we're in the final stages of everything now. So our cable's running, they're adjusting the cable, getting the tensioners all set right, and then they're gonna start hanging all of our chairs. And you can see those around here on the pallet. So everything's in place and ready to go. It's just a matter of putting it all together for the final pieces.
So I see the chairs. You're also going to have some cabins that are going to be open air cabins. Is that correct?
That's right. We're not going to have those at first. At first we should have 66 chairs. And later on, probably in 23, we'll be switching some of those chairs out for our open air cabin. You can see the towers going up 1 through 4. We have 6 towers that are part of our chairlift system. The 4th tower up there at the very top of the hill, you can see the columns sticking up to the left-hand side. That's all going to be part of the Legacy Lookout. That's actually our walking bridge that will start at the very end of the park as you walk through it. It'll spiral up to the top, take guests up about another 50 feet above the top of the park, and give you a really cool 360 view around the whole area. And then you see the 2 pieces of the coaster there. That's all part of the Wild Stallion. The Wild Stallion is actually going to be the longest mountain coaster in the southeast. It should be about a 12-minute ride from beginning to end with roughly 1.25 miles of track. It goes up and down our mountain twice. So it starts here at the chairlift station, goes to the top, goes into the fields over in the left-hand side of the park, comes back up to the very top, and then comes back around the ridge to the home base here at the bottom.
Get some pretty nice views of all the fall colors if you're out on that right now.
Amazing views. I actually went up there last night and went to the top of the spiral, the 360 at the top, and it's about the same level as where our bridge is going to be, and it's incredible. This is going to be a fire pit right here. So we're going to have some pretty neat areas for our folks to wait for the chairlift ride, and we're trying to think of everything so our guests get a totally fun experience from the time they get here to the time they leave. As guests purchase their tickets, they'll choose whether they want to ride the coaster first or go up to the park first. If they go to the park, they'll just take a left-hand turn and go around the corner. But if they're ready to ride the Wild Stallion right away, they'll actually come around into the queue lines they're setting up here. And as you can see, our big Wild Stallion logo there on the wall. They'll get on the coaster and off the coaster here as well. So it starts and ends right here. The coaster itself is one of the most technologically advanced coasters. It has all of the modern safety features. So it actually has sensors as you go around the track. And if you get within a certain proximity of the cars in front of you, it'll actually slow your cart down. So if someone's going really slow in the cart ahead of you and you're gaining on them, the system and the safety system will actually keep you from getting close enough to make contact.
So I know one of the questions people are going to ask about this particular coaster is 1 or 2 people at a time.
It's a 2-seater. So they'll actually be able to ride 2 people to a cart if they want to. Yeah.
Mom and Dad could sit here, and the kiddo could sit here.
Right.
Okay.
And then if their feet can go here, here, or here, or here.
Very nice. Look forward to putting this thing to the test.
Oh yeah, it's very exciting. We're all lined up waiting for that ride.
So I know some people might be asking, do I have to take the chairlift? And the answer to that, Jordan, is?
No, they don't. So perfect timing here. As you can see, the shuttle bus that's actually bringing some of our employees in training down the mountain here, that's one of the options to come up. We have 2 shuttle buses and we have an open air safari truck, and they will actually be able to take those from the base instead of the chairlift if they're afraid of heights or just don't feel comfortable riding the chairlift.
So to take the shuttle bus or the safari truck, that's probably going to be about 5 to 10 minutes to get up here. It's not that long of a drive.
Right, it's not bad at all. With the loading and unloading everything all in, it probably would be about a 10-minute experience. And then that's very comparable to the chairlift itself, which we anticipate that ride being between 9 and 11 minutes long.
So if you are a little intimidated on getting on a chairlift, you definitely have other options to get up here and check out what we're about to check out. Beautiful waterfall as you come up to the drive. So now that we're up top, I see 2 buildings. What are we looking at as far as these 2 buildings?
The first building you're seeing on the left is actually the SkyLand Cafe and Bakery. Inside there, you're going to house most of our food and beverage. We have a coffee shop, a bakery, a candy shop, an ice cream shop, and then we have sandwiches, soups, pizzas, and a various assortment of candy, and some of that homemade, some of it's just regular good old-fashioned Reese cups and things like that. And then beyond that, we have 3 other food options, and I'll actually show those to you here in just a little bit. The building on the right-hand side is the Williford Mercantile. So our owners are Mark and Lisa Williford, and we've tied a lot of the family history into the ranch up here. So to honor them, that's been named after them. And we have a lot of retail in there in the way of boutique items, Western wear, a toy shop, Christmas shop, and SkyLand Ranch merchandise as well.
But look at this view, wow.
Yeah, it's really hard to get people to understand what the view is actually like up here. We're 300 feet up above the parkway, and most folks would see that the park is this close to the road and think, nah, there's not going to be a great view up there, but this is truly some of my most favorite views in the whole area.
Oh, especially with some of these fall colors coming in. Beautiful.
So we've talked before when you visited about our miniature animals, and we're going to have miniature horses, miniature donkey, miniature cow, and we're also going to have some goats and sheep. But one of the things that I don't know if we'd mentioned before when you were up here is in the fields over to the right here. Guests will see this as they drive in, but also while they're up here on top of the park, we're actually going to have a whole herd of longhorns. So we have about 7 longhorns that are going to be coming in and making their home here at SkyLand Ranch. So guests will be able to get that full Western experience when they come up here and see a herd of longhorns straight out of the Old West.
That's awesome. So we're going to go in the cafe and show you guys what it's like in here.
We're in the SkyLand Cafe and Bakery now. So the area you're seeing is going to feature our sandwiches, our soups, our pizzas. Then as you move across, we've got a section of ice cream. So we'll have a lot of different options for your sweet tooth up here with that. And then we're going to have our own coffee shop. We'll have our bakery with baked goods that are all made right here in-house by our baker at SkyLand Ranch. And then we're also going to have a lot of homemade candy. One of the things I'm really excited about with that is our main chef Gidget here. She has came up with a candy bar that you can actually build your own candy bar. So you can pick your own chocolate, you can pick your own toppings, you put them all together, and come back about 5 to 10 minutes later, and you'll have a SkyLand Ranch candy bar just the way you like it.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that. The area that you see now, this is going to be the main pasture for our miniature animals. We're actually going to have 3 to 4 pastures that they'll be hanging out in during the day. We have a barn that they'll be in at night to keep them safe from the elements and everything. In this area, we actually are going to feature one of the pieces of our entertainment programming. We plan to do entertainment on the hour pretty much every day with different options. One of those options is going to be an animal presentation. So we'll do a little bit of presenting our animals to the crowd and talking about where they are from and who they are, and telling about the history of the animal and how they got to be miniatures. And people ask, the number one question asked with those is, are they fully grown? And most of our miniature animals are fully grown, and they're going to be tiny guys for the rest of their life. So this is one of our little guys you're going to meet at the top. This is Maverick. he is actually the biggest of all of our minis. So everything else we have is a little smaller than he, and you'll get to meet them and see them, and he knows a few tricks. He actually knows how to smile. Smile, Maverick.
Oh, look at that.
He's very curious, and he always wants treats, so he's always looking for those.
Hey, Maverick.
Now we're in our Williford Mercantile. This is actually our 6,000 square foot retail barn. So some of the features we have in here are our Western wear, like our hat wall. We have plenty of cowboy hats for everybody from the kids all the way to the mom and dad. We also have a lot of Western wear of baseball caps and t-shirts and belts and wallets and things like that. And then for the ladies, we have a boutique, and we have a toy shop. We have a Christmas shop, and all of this stuff is sourced by our great folks from the Williford family. And they're doing a really great job of picking some really neat things that are going to be popular for folks that come visit SkyLand Ranch.
So we just stepped outside the Williford Mercantile. What are we looking at now, Jordan?
So this is going to be one of our areas for our guests to kind of hang out and spend some time with the family. We have 2 large gas fire pits here that they can sit around, they can make s'mores and just enjoy that time together. And then if you look just beyond that, you see those poles sticking out of the ground there, that's all part of the Legacy Lookout walkway that we're going to be building there. That will most likely be ready by the end of the year, probably not by opening, but as everybody knows, things have been challenging to get, and we're missing a bracket that we need for that. So we are going to be completing that later in the year. And we are about 300 feet above the parkway here. That bridge in some places will take guests an extra 50 feet up and give them absolutely stunning views of the Smoky Mountains in a 360-degree range. Just to the right of that, there's a pretty heavy construction area down there. That's where our amphitheater is going. So that's going to be the last piece of phase 1 here. And we're looking to have somewhere between 500 to 1,000 seats there. And we'll have some exciting concerts and things scheduled for that throughout the year in 2023.
Well, I can tell you get some really good views from here. So if you're going to come up even higher, it's going to be some fantastic views up there. Looking forward to that being completed.
So this area here we're in now is our food truck area. In addition to all the food and beverage that is inside the food and beverage barn, we're also going to have 3 food truck options outside. So we have Buckin' Barbecue, we have Sweet Darlings, and the Chuck Wagon. The Buckin' Barbecue is pretty self-explanatory. We're going to have a lot of really tasty barbecue options in that truck. Sweet Darlings is actually going to be our dessert truck, so we'll have some sweet baked items from inside the barn there available. And then the Chuck Wagon is going to be, like it says, where the cowboys eat. So we want to take care of the whole family. In this area, you're going to be able to get burgers and hot dogs and chicken tenders and sort of those staple items for the pickier eaters in the group.
As we're heading back down, are there any other frequently asked questions that you've noticed people asking?
People are just asking how many animals we're going to have. We anticipate when we first open, between the Longhorns and all the miniatures, we'll probably have somewhere around 20. And a lot of folks will ask, do they live here? And they will. So we have the 3 or 4 pastures at the top that they'll be out during the day and visiting with our guests. And then at night, we actually have a housing barn that they'll all go into, and that's climate controlled and fully enclosed so that any of the varmints around the Smoky Mountain area here that like to find little things can't get to them. We do have an animal expert on staff that controls all of their diet, controls all the conditions, and monitors everything that we do with our animal program.
I wanted to give you a look at one of those safari trucks, as it says saddle up here on the door. That can bring you up top if you don't prefer to take the chairlift. This again is an option to get you up top. As far as purchasing tickets, you can do that on site or in advance on their website. You can see the general admission pricing right here to just go up top, or you could get a combo ticket. Ages 10 and up is basically $45, or children 3 to 9 is about $34. Make sure you're subscribed to our channel. I'm going to do a full tour of the SkyLand Ranch once it officially opens, and I'll be covering all the available discounts to you, as well as letting you know if there are any future specials. So again, make sure you're subscribed to our channel. If you're not, hit the thumbs up button if you've enjoyed this video, and we'll see you guys on the next adventure.